Hey people, so I will be creating this look right here. This is an inspiration and it was actually on Diana Agron. I think that's how you say her name. And she wore it to the Grammys a few years ago now. And she's the actress that I've seen in I Am Number 4, and I think she was in that show called Glee that was on for a while. And when I first saw this look, it just stuck with me. I just thought it was so badass and elegant all at the same time. But at the time, I did not have the guts to attempt this look, and I did not think it was going to come out well. And I thought this was very interesting too, because the eyes are just so over the top and awesome, and the rest of this look is just very simple and elegant, and the eyes are everything, and that's it. This is totally something that if I had a fancy event to go to, I would do this. And if you are interested in learning how to accomplish this look, then just keep watching. First, I'm going to prime and set my eyelids. I'm going to be going in with my Hard Candy eyeshadow primer as normal, and then I'm going to set it with a neutral shadow. So I thought I could hide it, but I can't, so let's address this situation right here. I wish I could tell you that it was a hickey, and I guess that I could try to lie and tell you that it was, but I just did not have that good of a time before I got this mark on my neck. At work the other morning, which was maybe Monday or Tuesday now, I was just heating up my breakfast, and there's someone who cleans up the break room every morning, and that includes mopping the floor. And it was wet, and I saw it was wet, and there was a caution, this is wet sign on the floor. So I was well aware, and I was tiptoeing, and I was being very, very careful. But the boots that I was wearing, they're just very, very slippery, I guess. So I took my oatmeal out of the microwave and went to carry it to my desk, and I had to take a slight turn around one of the tables and I slipped. I was able to catch myself, and the thought process was first, oh man, I got oatmeal all over the wall and the floor. The second thought was, I'm really glad that I didn't fall, and I'm really glad that nobody was in here to see me do this. And the third thought was, oh my god, this is what napalm must feel like. So when I had slipped around and flailed around, I had gotten oatmeal all over myself. I splashed it onto my neck, onto my jaw here. My hair was down, so it was all in my hair, and all over the front of my clothes and my pants. Fortunately, I was wearing black that day, so it didn't affect anything that way. But my hair served as like a protection against it, and also my worst enemy. A lot of my oatmeal ended up in my hair, but then the stuff that got on my neck got trapped by my hair against my skin. And I also got it on my wrist. But fortunately, and this all happened about 3 seconds after I took that oatmeal out of the microwave, so it was very, very hot. I'm actually very fortunate that this is all that I got from it, because it did get onto my jaw, but it didn't leave a mark. Nothing left burn marks. I did get it on my chest as well, but I think I only got some slight burning here. But this is the worst that came out of it. It's ugly. I can't hide it. If I could, I would, but I can't, so I shan't. So at first glance on that photo, there's definitely black in there, but it's not all black. If you really look at it, you can see that she's probably got some like very soft, or some dark browns and some grays in there. I wish there were some better pictures of this look, but I can't find them. So I'm gonna start out with a black eyeshadow base. I'm gonna go in with the NYX eyeshadow base, this guy right here. Yeah, it's just called black. And I'm just gonna put that on a shader brush. This is the Sigma Eye Shading E55. But I'm going to put this low on my lid to begin with. Don't go all the way up into the crease with this, because there's going to be some buffing and shading and shaping, and if you take this too high, it's gonna get out of control real fast. It's not quite as like black as like the Maybelline gel eyeliner, But this is so much easier to work with than the Maybelline gel eyeliner because, you know, eyeliner is made not to budge, it's made to stay in place, and so it can be a little more challenging to work with than this. So I'm going to take my Luxie 215 small angle brush right here, and still going to be using that NYX black eyeshadow base. And we're not going to go crazy on the wing, but we are going to start a wing shape. And we're still keeping things low and small because we need wiggle room to buff and stuff. I'm just kind of creating this wing thing here, but still doing this all way below the crease, as you can see, I think. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that same flat shader brush, no extra product actually, I've kind of wiped some of the stuff off, and I'm going to go in with a black eyeshadow. This is the black eyeshadow from Makeup Geek called Corrupt. Any black eyeshadow will do that is your favorite to use. So I'm going to stamp that black eyeshadow everywhere that we just put all of that eyeshadow base. The black eyeshadow base gives you a very nice black base to deal with. It makes things look more black than if you were to just use a black eyeshadow against your skin. At least if you're as pale as I am. So next I'm going to go in with another brush. This is the Luxie 140 Detail Tapered Blender. And this is the Wonder Woman edition that I got in Ipsy bag a few months ago. Pretty cool. So I am going to dip into that same black Corrupt color on the edges. And now we're gonna start some shaping. Shaping and winging. And this is really what I thought would be helpful for the outside corner here. And so I'm just kind of using this point to clean up. Still blending things out and buffing it, but it's also kind of cleaning up the lines that you see. Alright, so if you look at that picture and you're able to see it closer, she does kind of have like this hardcore definitive shape, but she also has some light blending above it. And that's where I think the lighter browns and grays may come in. So I'm going to take this Barcelona Beach on my Morphe M441 brush. I'm going to go from the outer to the inner corner. But from what I see in the picture, it looks like a couple different browns and or grays, and maybe even some sort of almost black was used as this gradient in her upper crease here. Alright, so I want to be a little more precise. That brush just with this look is sort of scaring me. So I'm going to go with my Morphe M506 brush, which is a little more petite. And still going in with that Barcelona Beach color. Going to blend that a little more densely into the crease. And I'm going into the inner corner as well. Okay, so now I want to try another color in the crease. This is Copperplate from MAC. And this is a very like steely, almost purple, but not quite gray color. And I may not like what this does, but I do want to try it. And I'm going to do with that exactly what we just did with the Barcelona Beach. Okay, so I really like what that Copperplate did. Yeah, I really like what it did. But I am going to go back in with that Barcelona Beach one more time. Well, I don't know if it's one more time, but I am going to go back in with the Barcelona Beach. I want to make sure that there's nothing that looks like purple, because I don't see any purple in that look of hers. Okay, so now I am going to go back in with a Morphe M441 brush, and I've cleaned this. There is no product on it. I just want to make sure that those edges are as soft as I want them. Stay very, like, you're not going above, you're not spreading this around any higher than it is in your crease. All you're doing is softening it so you don't have any harsh, unattractive lines. Alright, so I really love the shape that we have now, and I love the way those edges look, but in doing this you're going to lose some of that black. So I am going to go back in with that black Corrupt color, And I'm going to be using the Luxie 249 brush, which is something else I got another. I have a lot of Luxie brushes and I really didn't realize how many I have. And Luxie brushes are awesome. But it's a double-ended thing, and I'm going to use this guy, which is kind of like a very soft shader brush maybe. And we're going to pat black all over the lid to add some blackness back in. And go right up to your crease, like right underneath your crease. Because now it will be, now we're in a position to where we can blend that black. So now that we have some blackness back in there, I'm going to go back in with that Morphe N441 blending brush, no product on it. And we're just going to make sure that that black is blending in with the gray and the brownish color that we used before. I am going to put a coat of mascara on my upper lashes, and this is the Stila Huge Extreme Lash in black. Alright, so from the picture I cannot tell if she has any eyelashes on, but if she does, they are not super dramatic. I don't think. And if they are super dramatic, then it's kind of a waste because this is gonna just cancel that out. However, some thicker, blacker lashes is probably good. I am gonna go in with these lashes here, and I believe they are from Kiss, and they are called Little Black Dress. I'm gonna let this eyelash glue dry for a bit and finish this other eye, the top of this other eye off camera. Alright, so I have gotten the top portion of this eye done and I have my eyelashes on. Before we take off the shadow shields, I just totally hit myself in the nose. Okay. Before we take off the shadow shields, there's a little something that I want to do first. So I want to go back in with the Corrupt color, the black color from Makeup Geek, and this angled Luxie brush. And we're just going to make sure that this connects the way that I want it. I am stopping kind of where my iris starts, where the circle starts is where I'm going to stop. So now we can remove the shadow shields. So now we're going to go in with a makeup wipe and we're going to clean up any possible fallout that may have happened. So I want to go in and I kind of want to soften the lines. The shadow shields do what we want, but they make that line very harsh. I'm just going in with that angled brush and trying to soften up those lines a little bit. So now we're going to start on the face. First thing I'm going to go in with is my primer, and this is the Becca Velvet Blurring Primer. I think it does the same thing for the most part as my Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. I know that this has this color to it, but I'm not sure that it quite does anything that the Hourglass doesn't. Next I'm going to go in with my Tarte CC Under Eye Corrector. And I'm in the color light medium. We're going to use this to cancel out the dark circles under our eyes and the brown spots on our forehead, if you happen to have those too. I am using an e.l.f. concealer brush to do this. And just make sure that you get into those inner corners of your eyes. They're very easy to miss because you don't look at the inner corners of your eyes. Next I'm going to go in with a foundation today, and I'm going to use the Etherist Skin Illuminating Foundation by Kevyn. And I am going to be blending that in using my damp Real Technique sponge that is super dirty. And I take that down my neck in a futile attempt to cover this little guy up. I can tell you that that little bitch is gonna get edited out of the photos from this. Now I'm gonna go in with concealer, and I'm gonna go in with my Ultra HD Makeup Forever concealer, and I'm just going to put this under my under eyes. And I have some breakouts along here, so I'm probably gonna add it here too. Now I'm going to set all of this with a setting powder, Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder, and I do like it. I am, however, going to put it on this giant brush right here. This is the Morphe E41, and I also use it for bronzing, but I don't want to get too dark. If you look at that picture that I'm going off of, her skin is very fair. She's got very fair skin, which I do too. And when you're going for a rocker look, there aren't too many of those girls that are super tan. Oh, that's right up my alley. And it does give me just a tiny bit of color so I don't look completely dead. So next I'm going to set my under eyes, and I'm going to be using the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. And I will be setting that using the Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35 brush. So next I'm going to fill in my brows. I'm going to go in with the Revlon Color Stay Brow Pencil. I usually use the one from L'Oreal. They don't have quite the color range that the Revlon line does. This is in the color Soft Brown. And, but it works. It's fine. I know in the picture that she doesn't have this kind of a shape of eyebrow. Her eyebrow shape is much less arched, softer, but these are the eyebrows you're gonna get today. Alright, so now we're going to finish up the eyes. First thing I'm going to do is take my Marc Jacobs Highliner in Blacquer, and I'm going to line my bottom waterlines, and I'm going to tightline. And as you are lining your bottom waterline, you can sort of take this into your lash line a little bit, because we're going to use this black and smoke it out. So next I'm going to go in with my Luxie 221 flat definer brush. Another Luxie brush, it's just a Luxie day. I'm going to use this because the edge is very flat on here. I'm sorry, very fine and small. And we're going to be going in with the black eyeshadow, which is why I want to use this brush. Going to hug your lash line, your bottom lash line, very closely. All the way from the outer to the inner corner. And you should be coming into some of that eyeliner that you bled over from your waterline. So now I'm going to take the Morphe M213 brush, this little guy right here, and I'm going to take that Barcelona Beach, and I'm going to smoke out this waterline using this brush first. I want to see if I can accomplish what I want with this guy, just because it's such a small edge and I'm trying to keep that waterline very tight. And using that Barcelona Beach color just helps you to blend the edges of this black easier and make sure that it doesn't look super harsh in a way that you don't want. Okay, so now we're going to put a coat of mascara on our bottom lashes. So if you look at her picture, it doesn't really look like she has anything like on her brow bone or her inner corners, but I'm gonna put a little something there anyway. I'm gonna go into my Fenty Beauty highlighter. the Duo Kilowatt Freestyle Highlighter Duo. And so this has those two different highlights in them. This one's a lot more subtle here, so I think I'm going to use this to highlight my inner corners and my brow bones. Yeah, so this is good to give you that contrast in between your eye color and your brow bone. Your eye color and your eyebrows, but it's not a super beaming contrast, which she doesn't really have, and I am trying to stay as close to what it looks like she did as possible. And the eyes are done. So now we're gonna finish up the face. I am going to go in with some bronzer. If you look at her face in the pictures, it doesn't look like she has any bronzer on. And if I had a lighter bronzer than this, like that Benefits Hoola bronzer in light would probably be perfect for this. So I am gonna go in with that Morphe E41 brush, that giant brush, and I am gonna go to my Tarte Park Avenue Princess, this guy right here. And I'm gonna use this bigger brush because it'll be less concentrated than if I use a smaller brush. So I'm gonna go light to begin with and go back as needed. I am holding back so much right now because I really like to have color to my face, and I go really ham on the bronzer normally. Put some in my nose because my nose will definitely disappear in my face. So I just want to make sure you can still see my nose. I am going to take this down my neck a little bit. So for the blush that it looks like she's wearing in that photo, it's a very soft peachy color to me. I don't have a whole lot of peach. So I'm gonna go in with this guy right here. It's kind of the least pinky blush that I have. And this is that Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush, and this is in the color Sensual. And I will be putting that on with this big angled Morphe brush. Alright, so I'm pretty sure she doesn't have on any highlight in her face, either. But I'm going to put a little bit of highlight on mine. And I'm just going to go back in with that same one from Fenty Beauty. This is the Lightning Dust. It's a very, very subtle highlight, so I am just going to use these to highlight my cheeks. And I will be applying it with the Morphe M501 brush. So for the lips, if you look at her picture, it doesn't even look like she's wearing any lipstick at all. It's extremely natural. I'm gonna put a little bit of a nude because she probably is wearing some sort of nude. I'm gonna try this one. It's the NYX Simply Nude lip cream. It's like a crayon, and it's in the color Honey. So this may be a little more nude than I wanted, so I'm gonna try and do a layer. This is from NARS. It's the Satin Lip Pencil, and the color is Rikugien? R-I-K-U-G-I-E-N. I'll list it down below. I have no idea how you properly say that. I'm just gonna put this on top to add a little more pink. So I think that added a little more life to my lips than it was. You may not want to go in with such a light nude like I did the first one. I'm now going to set my eyebrows using the NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel. I'm gonna set everything on my face using the Urban Decay De-Slick Makeup Setting Spray. And we dry. Alright people, so this is the finished look. I tried to put my hair up. Hers is up and it's very loose and high up on her head. I don't have somebody that can do my hair that I can pay, so this is what we get. And she has these badass earrings on, these huge, awesome statement earrings. And I don't wear a lot of jewelry, so these are about as statement and badass as I could get with my earrings. I also don't have a gorgeous, luxurious gown like she has on that is by some sort of famous designer. So this is also what you get. However, I am really happy with how this turned out. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and click that little bell down below and it will notify you the next time that I upload a video. And I will see you guys next time.